What's up, guys? It is your boy Bernardo from the BTN HD, and if this is your first time checking me out, make sure to hit that subscribe button and get the latest and greatest on Lenovo products. Today we're going to be talking about the Lenovo ThinkPad T480. I did an unboxing for you guys and first impressions on this particular device, and it's time to do a full hands-on review. I'm pretty excited. I actually have the laptop with me at Memphis because I am doing a major conference for my 9-to-5 job. So I said to myself, why not take it with me traveling, right? Because this laptop is all about traveling. It is a business class laptop. A lot of good things, but a couple of bad things. And so let's get to the review. All right, guys, for the ThinkPad T40, it is an amazing business class traveling laptop. I've been using it so far for my trip. With editing videos, 1080p videos using Premiere, Photoshop, Audition, and After Effects. The machine itself with the specs is capable of handling it. For the entire case material, it is made of magnesium hybrid, and I believe the bottom part is made out of glass fiber reinforced with plastic. It's opened up, and the first thing that I could look or give you good advice is the keyboard. The keyboard is amazing. It feels extremely nice when I was typing and using Word and going online, and it's just great. The keys itself is spaced to the point that you're able to type real fast and not make mistakes. The power button is located on the upper right corner. Right underneath the power button, all the way in the bottom right here, it is your fingerprint reader or your touch fingerprint reader. I've used it maybe a couple of times to log in. It works extremely fast, but it really depends. I don't like using this feature at all. The trackpad itself, I did have some issues on it. The only issue that I had was eventually, sometimes it just freezes up on me, and then I gotta really tap it. I don't know if it goes to sleep. I don't know if it's a Windows 10 problem or a device problem. The keyboard itself is LED backlit, which is a huge plus, especially for me. I like to work at night in the dark. For the display, we're rocking a 14-inch Full HD with a resolution of 1920 by 1080 IPS. The only negative thing I could say about the touchscreen, I did use it a couple of times, but it froze on me. And the only way that I got it back to work was rebooting the machine. So that is a major concern for me. Now, the camera itself is built in within the display. It is a 720p camera, and it does have the think shutter mechanism. Like I said before, I've been using this laptop to do my day-to-day stuff at my business trip that I'm at right now. I've been using Premiere. I've been using Photoshop. I have all the applications right here on my taskbar. And it works efficiently. I wasn't having any issues at all. I'm super happy. And the reason why is because of the specs. I'm going to right click on the taskbar. Let's go to Task Manager. And within Task Manager, let's go to Performance. Now, the T480 is rocking a i7 or quad-core i7 8th generation processor. It is the 8650U series. And the clock speed is only 1.90 gigahertz. I think within the BIOS of the T480, you're able to go in there and enable Turbo and get up to maybe 3.4 gigahertz. For memory, we're rocking 16 gigs, which works extremely well when you're dealing with After Effects and Premiere. Didn't have any issues with that. For storage, I have about a 512 gigabyte Samsung solid state drive. Really fast with the boot time. I love rendering as well as working with my Premiere After Effects files on this laptop because it runs efficiently. For graphics, it's only running the Intel Ultra HD Graphics 620. You're going to get that with the 8th generation processors, which is okay. I don't see myself playing like League of Legends or Call of Duty on this machine. You could probably get away with, Fortnite or Minecraft. Now, a lot of questions that I get with these laptop reviews that I do for you guys is the fan noise and the heating. For the T480, the heating is normally around this area right here and right here in the display, as well as at the back. That's where the removable battery. One of the cool things I like about this particular laptop, it has a removable battery. And the fan noise, I did hear the fan noise when I did the initial unboxing and first impressions videos for you guys. But eventually it just kind of died out. I rendered a 5-minute video 1080p using Media Encoder, Adobe Media Encoder, and no fan noise. It was really silent, really fast. It was really good. So talking about the battery, because I just recently mentioned the battery to you guys. The way I like to do the battery test on these particular laptops is the following. I like to use PC Mark 8. I like to run it 3 times. First time, run the program. What it does is constantly doing things until the battery runs out. I charge it. I do it the second time, third time, and then the fourth time, I've charged the battery completely 100%. I leave the battery or power supply at my lab, and I take the laptop at home and just use it. And I start recording the percentages going down each time, right? So on the first time that I ran PC Mark, it gave it 2 hours and 51 minutes. And I was pretty surprised because the battery itself has an internal battery as well as an external battery, which I'm going to show you guys pretty soon. Right here, you can see 81, you can see 87%, but battery 1 is 85 and battery 2 is 89. I'm going to go over that during the chart. On test 2, it gave it 3 hours and 22 minutes. So that's a huge jump between test 1 to test 2. And on the last test with PC Mark, it gave it 3 hours and 20 minutes. So I kind of lost 2 minutes. Okay, so on the fourth test, I normally charge the battery 100% and I leave the power adapter at my lab. And I take the laptop at home and I just use it. So I got a grand total of 8 hours and 45 minutes. It really depends on how you use this particular laptop. PC Mark is constantly using it into cycles until it runs out. It's really rare if you're going to use a laptop non-stop. But if you look at the chart, I started using the laptop on the 20th. 3 days later, I started using it again for only 29 minutes. And then on the 28th, 5 days later, that's when I started using it really heavy. On the morning, I only got like an hour. And then at night, I started using it again. The green mark right here indicates that it went inside the green mode friendly, like green friendly. It was trying to save battery for you. And around, I would say 8:33, it gave me the warning. And I believe around 9 o'clock, 8:57 and 9:13, it started yelling at me. It started beeping red because it was going low. And eventually, around 10:30 p.m., it just completely shut down on me. And I was like, B1, battery 1 and battery 2 was around 5 to 4%. And that's 3 hours and 51 minutes on that day. A grand total of 8 hours and 45 minutes I was capable of using it. And this was 3 days, but it wasn't back to back. Okay. Now, charging the battery itself, because there's 2 batteries, you're charging the internal one as well as the removable battery. It took me about 3 hours and 28 minutes to charge both of them at the same time. I started around 8 o'clock at night with 5 and 4. And I would say around 9:16, battery 2 stopped in 80%. And then battery 1 started going up. Then once battery 1 hit 80%, which was around 9:43 p.m., battery 2 started going up. All right. And then eventually all of them got to 100% around 11:30 at night. B1 was still 99%, but the overall was 100%. And when I mean overall, this is what I mean. So when you click on the battery, you see this is your overall health right here. Now, one of the cool things I like about this is that you're able to hot swap your battery. So if I turn this guy around, and we're going to just pop it out. I'm just going to pop out the battery real quick, right? There you go. So I just popped the battery out. And it's still running. How awesome is that? So if I click on the battery, right now it is running on the internal battery. And that's 85%. So that means if this guy goes bad, you could replace it. Slap it in and you're good to go. So that's pretty awesome. That's one of the things I love about the T480 is this hot swappable battery thing. Now for ports and features on the T480, we have a lot of ports. So if you have the laptop facing you opened up, on your right hand side, we have a 4.1 SD card reader, an RJ45 gigabit Ethernet jack. I love that part on the T480. I love laptops with Ethernet jacks. We have 2 3.0 USBs and one of them is an always on, as well as a HDMI port, and we have a headphone / microphone combo jack. On the left hand side, we have one 3.1 USB Type-C port and one Thunderbolt 3 port, as well as your Ethernet extension side docking connector. And right here at the bottom, this is for a smart card, which is optional. This is one of the things you have to configure on the site. Now, the T480 is a great business class traveling laptop. Myself, honestly, I love it a lot to travel with. Definitely, it works well with editing videos quickly and rendering with the specs that this guy has. Now, the price is pretty steep. The basic one, I believe, with maybe an i5 or i3 processor, I'm not too sure, is going to cost you around $859. That's the retail starting price. The highest that you could go, and I'm assuming is the quad-core i7, 8th generation processor with the 16 gigs and all that other good stuff, is going to cost you around $2,200, which is extremely expensive. Again, this is a business class laptop. This is the type of laptop that you would definitely take with you when you're traveling to do business stuff, Word documents, Zoom meetings, GoToMeetings, Skype meetings. If you need to do a little bit of editing with Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere, After Effects. I've been doing that a lot these past 5 days, and it just works great with the specs that it has. Again, I'm running the 16 gigs, the 512 gigabytes solid state drive. This is only the full HD one, which is okay. The only problems that I have on this machine is the touchscreen. It froze on me and I had to reboot it to get it back up. And I hardly use the touchscreen. The only reason I started using the touchscreen is because of you guys. I'm just testing it out. The trackpad is really difficult to, maneuver sometimes. It freezes up on me and sometimes it comes back up. I don't know if that's a hardware problem or a Windows 10 problem. But overall, it is a great machine. Very powerful. Great to travel with. And one of the things I love about it is the battery. The fact that it has an internal and an external battery, and then you're capable to remove the external one, and your internal is your backup, and you're able to replace it. It's like a hot swappable, and it reminds me like the servers, right? The servers, you have 2 power supplies, and they're hot swappable. If one goes bad, you could just replace it on the fly. I love that feature with the T480. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this hands-on review on the Lenovo ThinkPad T480. Leave comments right below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.